So anyway, I want to talk today about arrow safety. We had a really interesting event happen earlier. I was out doing my practice rounds, and I had an arrow have a catastrophic failure during a shot. As you can see, here's where the arrow failed at. Okay, it is a carbon fiber arrow. It's one of my older sets, and this is off of my reflex deflex longbow that at my poundage is about 58 pounds in that neighborhood at the 31-inch draw. So it's got a lot of force going forward. It's very important, and well, here's a good example, and I don't know if this is what happened with this, but it's a good reason to talk about it. How don't take your arrows for granted when you're shooting. Every time that you set up to have a shooting session with your arrows, I don't care if they're carbon fiber, wood, or aluminum, look over every arrow that you're going to shoot for splits, for chips, for cracks, or any of these kind of things, because the amount of stress on them, it can be catastrophic. Now, I don't know if this was damaged. Honestly, I didn't check earlier. I got lazy. So it potentially could have been damaged. Normally, when a carbon fiber fails, it's got big, long cracks. This arrow does not. So this is the most unique failure I've ever seen in an arrow. I'm going to show you the battle wound because it's really pretty. Now, like when I shoot this bow, I've got my arm guard, I got a glove, and I have my shooting glove on. So I've got all the proper gear on. This arrow had apparently split at release. And what must have happened is it split and it exploded. The bow basically dry fired. I'm very happy that my bow is safe. It didn't get damaged. Didn't know that at the time. And then it whipped back and cracked into my arm. We assumed this is what happened afterwards and just whipped me like a cane pole. It felt like getting kicked by a horse. I couldn't breathe for a minute, and it swelled up so bad that my actual arm, and you can see it's still bulging out. Like this is after a cold compress. It was actually hanging. It was so full of blood. Like it's getting better, but it's a bruise. But it could have been worse. This could have went in. Whenever I found the arrow pieces, they had went like complete opposite directions. And the part that hit me, I assume it was this, flew a good 20 yards off to this side, and the fletching flew over on that side. So it's a good example. I'm not sure if I followed all the proper procedures, if I could have prevented this, but I can tell you the one thing I did not do was check my arrows before I shot. So word of advice, always check your arrows before like any session of shooting. Any flaw in an arrow shaft, you need to retire that arrow. You should not shoot it. This could have been a trip to the hospital. I could have been impaled. It happens a lot. This is the most unique arrow injury I've ever seen, and I'm kind of glad to share it with you guys. Stay safe.